We the people are going to burn this corruption to the ground. Yeah. We the people will fight fire with fire starting now. Gonna watch them run, gonna watch it burn, gonna watch it all come down. Yeah. We the people are gonna burn this corruption to the ground. Yeah. We the people will fight fire with fire starting now. Oh, gonna watch them run, gonna watch it burn, gonna watch it all come down, yeah.
All right, all right. Let's go ahead and bring Tammy out. So we're just running a test tonight, folks. I got a hot mic. I love having control over the volume so I can hear. So we're just running a test tonight, folks. We got some great news for you guys. The supercomputer is here. We're running off the supercomputer now. The cameras are crystal clear on my end, so I just need your guys' help. We need your guys' help tonight. First question is, how was the intro? Were you guys able to see the intro? And did you guys have 5x5? Did it sound good? Was it hot? Was it distorted? That way the producers in the back, they're working all the sound equipment, trying to get the sound on the intro good. And then how's my mic? And then we want to check Tammy's mic as well, make sure the sound is good there. So this is only a test tonight, but Jeff B is coming on with me tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow night with Jeff B, as long as everything goes well here with the setup. We're still working some bugs out. So Tammy, exciting times.
Well, yeah, we've been working really hard behind the scenes all morning.
Uh-oh. Something happened to Tammy.
I don't know. There we go. There we are.
What happened to you?
It wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault. But I want to say hi to Cindy D, My Son's Life Mattered, and Carlene and Chase and Pamela Howard that got notifications. That's really important, you guys, too. If you got notifications, please let us know, because like Mike said, we just upgraded from a supercomputer from a regular computer. We're just running tests right now tonight, this late, and we're just so excited, you guys, to bring all this to you. So thank you for being here. Let me see. Chrissy Culmore said sound was somewhat distorted at the beginning. Hey, everyone, good evening. So that's what we need to know. Was the intro a little distorted and then it mellowed out? Because we
might have to play the intro again, just so we can get the feedback from chat. Okay, I have sound now. So Pamela has sound now. Good. A bit distorted, but straightened out. So Um, here's the other thing. We need to check real quick and see if we're on Rumble. Can I get Carlene or somebody? Can you guys hop over to Rumble and see if we're on Rumble right now? And then I think once we find out, there we are. Okay, we're on Rumble.
Yep, we are. I see that. Yeah.
Okay, we're
Started.
good. We're on Rumble.
Yeah, we've been having troubles with Rumble, you guys, on and off. So thank you for letting us know, and we see that. Yep, and the sound and everything else is
There we
good.
go.
Nice.
Okay,
Yes.
Too far to the right. If we can bring that back just a little bit. Yeah, come on back. Come on back. Keep coming. Keep coming. Keep coming. Keep coming. I'm trying to. The producer's moving stuff. Keep coming to the left. To the left. Keep coming to the left. Right there. Perfect.
There we go.
That way I can see chat on Rumble. No, this is awesome. This is awesome. So now I can see. Hey Sage, how's it going? So
Hey,
now
Sage.
I can see both chats, and I'm looking at the camera at the same time.
Nice.
So, there we go. We got some people all good here. 5x5. That's in Rumble. So awesome. So producers, can we go ahead and play the intro one more time? So we can read chat. Can you guys give us feedback on the chat if it sounds too distorted, too hot, as the producers work the sound equipment? It would be great if we can get that feedback from you guys. We'll go ahead and pop out real quick. We're going to play the intro, and that way we can get your feedback.
Storms that come, you can see it in the sky. No use running, if you do, you won't survive. People are sick and people are tired, but inside of me rages a fire. We the people are going to burn this corruption to the ground. Yeah, we the people will fight fire with fire starting now. You can see every day more and more people like me are breaking the chains of slavery. America's at a breaking point. Once you strike that match, there's no way to turn back. We the people are gonna burn this corruption to the ground. Yeah. We the people will fight fire with fire starting now. We the people are going to burn this corruption to the ground. Yeah, we the people will fight fire with fire starting now. Gonna watch them run, gonna watch it burn, gonna watch it all come down. Yeah, we the people are gonna burn this corruption to the ground. With fire starting now. Gonna watch them run, gonna watch it burn, gonna watch it all come down, yeah.
Okay, it sounded great to me in my headphones that time. What about you, Tammy?
Well, mine sounded a little distorted and loud, and then it got better. So
Okay.
I think that everything's good now.
Okay, some of the feedback, good now on my end. Okay, we just need your guys' feedback. Again, tomorrow night, Jeff B. here, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're just running a test tonight. We got the new computer in, and we're trying to work some of the bugs out and get ready because here in about, I don't know. I know I said 2 weeks, like almost 2 weeks ago, but here in a week or two, we're going to be streaming 24/7, and I'm excited for that. Tammy, your thoughts?
I'm excited too. And we've been working really hard behind the scenes and just developing the channel to be what we want it to be. But there are so many moving and working components that we have to get fine tuned and stuff. So thank you to everyone who's subscribed and being patient with us. We are working really hard to make sure that we get it to be the best that it can be. And don't forget, Mike, join me tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time for Headline Hits. I do it Monday through Thursday, every day, noon to Eastern Standard Time, because LW is at work. So he's allowed me to take that over for him. Now, we may have a surprise every now and again when LW is on vacation. He can't stand it. He can't stand not being behind the mic. So he may just pop in and do Headline Hits, and that's A-okay with me.
Yeah, you never know. I was watching some of the old Headline Hits today, and I definitely have the itch for that. I loved doing Headline Hits. If you guys can tell me how Tammy sounds on her mic, please, I would appreciate that. And if you guys are loving Tammy doing the Headline Hits, because I do, I watch it at work. I listen to it anyway. If I can't watch it, I listen to it, and I just get a brief little update of what's big in the news. And I really appreciate her doing it because I loved doing it when I was doing it. So if you guys love Tammy doing Headline Hits, just drop a 1 there in chat for us. Give her some support because I've been telling her she's been doing a great job. She started, what, 2 weeks ago, Tammy?
Yeah, I think
this is your third week.
Yeah,
this
exactly.
is your third full week. She started 2 weeks ago, and we've just, it was awesome. She said, yeah, hell, I'll do it. And she did it. And we've just been upgrading as we go. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. And, I have to say that I am so ADD with things, or ADHD, whatever you want to name it. Also, I'm persnickety about it. I've changed my Headline Hits twice in one day, because there's so much news that is breaking. I want to make sure that we provide the LWN network people, viewers, subscribers, and all that with the latest information and what's important and affecting their lives. We give a little bit of our opinion, but the reality is we try to disperse truth, and we try to build trust through truth. Not about opinions, what we think is going to happen, or what we say, whoa, we told you so, we were right with this, or we told you, no, we're wrong, and we accept that we're wrong. We just try to present the news. And I think that's really important point to make, LW. And the same with our shows that we're going to do through the evenings and together and stuff. We want to make sure that we present the truth. We present a lot of the research that we do, so we can hear from both sides, and we can kind of make sense out of the madness that is occurring out there each and every day.
A lot going on. There's always something in the news. I mean, honestly, if this thing gets to where I would love it to be, which is a full-blown network, and this becomes my job again, instead of me having to go put my tools on and do what I do to pay the bills now. If this ever paid my bills, I would love to do a morning Headline Hits and an evening Headline Hits, and be able to be in the news a lot more than I am now. But there's just so much going on. You could honestly go 7 days a week, which we are going to be streaming 7 days a week, and we're going to try to catch as much as we possibly can. As far as you'd brought up something to me this afternoon, Tammy, about there was supposed to be a vote on the floor. So those are the things that we want to put into our live stream as we're streaming 24 hours a day. If there's a vote coming up, we want to broadcast that for you guys so that you guys can see how these representatives are voting. And it's very important for all of us to pay attention to our own state representatives, our own congressmen and women, and how they're voting and what's going on. Because if we don't, then we allow them to do what they've been doing for quite some time, which is really just run the country how they see it fit. And then we all complain about it. Well, why is this going on? I didn't vote for that. Well, you voted for that person, and that person voted for it. So we really got to pay attention to that and train ourselves to be engaged, to be plugged in, There's so much more. I want to have great conversation with people on both sides of the aisle. I am in the process of working some deals out here in my great state of Idaho at the Capitol, Boise, Idaho. I'm going to start going to some of these. I got invited to a dinner tonight, actually, for, I don't know, it's a couple weeks away, but it's a Republican dinner, but also have a friend at work that his wife is a Democrat. And so there's going to be some Democrats that I'm hoping to friend and have them come on the show. And some of them are moderates. And I would just love the opportunity to have good conversation with them and see what their perspectives are and what their side of things are. And I think it's important for us to get both sides and to be informed and not just in an echo chamber where it's just the same people, same talking heads, same everything over and over and over and over again. Because I feel like that's a disservice to ourselves when all we hear is one side all the time. Now, does that mean we have to agree with the other side? No. But I do feel like they have valid information to contribute so that, again, we can see what they're thinking. Because if it's just one-sided all the time, I can't stand. So I was talking to Ty this afternoon. He's a guy I work with, and his wife, she is a Democrat, and she is very, very left. Mm-hmm. So in our state house here in the great state of Idaho, she has a Republican friend, but the Republican friend cannot talk to her unless it's very private, out of the Capitol, somewhere private where nobody can see the two of them talk. Because if the Republican friend gets caught by the other Republicans talking to her because she is on the left, they will shun that person. And same with her. If she gets caught, and I just think that is so foolish that we can't even talk to one another without being persecuted by our own party. Mm-hmm. And so it's just horrible. So I'm going to try to be the bridge between the right and the left here, at least in my home state. I'm going to try to bring these people into my studio and have conversations about all different types of topics and get back to having those discussions. And I saw Sage in here earlier, and get back to good debate, not name calling and finger pointing and just disgusting shouting, but just good conversations. Like, I bring up a topic. This is a bill that's going in front of us here in Idaho, and I have the Democrat and the Republican, and why are you voting against it, or why are you voting for it? So I don't know. That's some of the stuff that we're going to do here. I have sent out the invite for other people to have a slot here at LWN to bring in other podcasters to be part of this network. So there's going to be a lot of changing, a lot of things developing, a lot of different things that we're going to do, and I'm very excited for that, Tammy. Sorry for taking such a long-winded response, but just trying to get the information out there for what you can expect from LWN Network.
And I appreciate that, because it's been very hard for Mike to not be behind the mic and allowing me to be behind the mic. He's been working so hard. LW at work had his real job, and then this, which is a passion and a hobby, but he wants it to become his real job. I agree with you 100%. Before I get into what I want to say, if everybody could say, did they do the vote tonight, and what was the vote as far as the CR bill? We've been working so hard. I haven't had a chance to see it. Mike Johnson said that they thought they would have the votes to pass the CR. However, that one guy, the curly-haired guy, I forget what his name is now, said he was going to vote against it because it was going to cost too much money, like $2 trillion over too much time, and he feels Doge is it Rand Paul. That's his name, Rand Paul.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so I want to know if they voted for it, or they're going to shut down, or they didn't pass it. But in the meantime, LW is correct. We want to be able to have intelligent conversations, because if anything we've learned over the last 4 or 5 years is not everybody knows everything. And we do our research to try to bring you the truth from both sides, not what we want to present to you as far as what our opinions are, but what the truth is that's happening each and every moment, because it's ever changing. Like Elon or not like Elon, people have both sides to that. But the days of Trump being orange man bad has long passed us. About Biden being okay, there was nothing wrong with him. We're just going to knock Trump and Doge right now. We're past that. We have to be smarter and more intelligent. And like LW said, involved in our local communities, everyone. And that's what we want to present here is both sides truth. Let's all get to the truth together as best we can. Not say I told you so, or just like name calling. I agree 100%.
So Carlene said it did pass, and it's moving on to the Senate.
Nice.
And to respond to Danny on Facebook, I'm angry too, and I'm not the one voting. But here's the thing: is I voted people in that are voting for me. I don't believe that this is all going to be some grand reset, and all these people are going to be replaced all at the same time, and we get to start all over. Would I like that, Danny? Absolutely, but I don't think it's going to work that way. I guess what I'm trying to say to you is that we really need to pay attention who's in there now. Whether we can vote them out, not vote them out, start over, whatever. We need to train ourselves to always be paying attention to our representatives, not only in your own state, like here in Idaho and my capital with the session going on right now, but also in D.C. when they go to D.C. So I don't disagree with wanting a clean slate. The traitors are all in the halls of our government buildings. Yeah, I would agree that there are people there that have definitely taken this country in a direction I do not want it to go. But how do we change direction? You have to get involved, and you have to pay attention, and you have to, most importantly, and this goes for Donald J. Trump too. We have to hold these people accountable. We have to hold Donald Trump accountable. We have to hold Elon Musk accountable. We have to hold our FBI directors accountable. We have to hold our state representatives accountable, and we haven't done that. A lot of people haven't done it. So this is all new for all of us. This is something that it's taken a long time to wake people up that this is not okay, and the direction of this country is not okay. And do I like the direction the country is going at this moment? I think it's a good start. Do I agree with everything? No. But I feel like at least we have people's attention, and people are even paying attention on the left. And that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because even though the left does not like what they see right now, at least they're paying attention, right? At least they're not asleep at the wheel. So I would like to see the left and the right come together and figure out solutions to problems and fix it bipartisan instead of just this every 4 years or every 8 years where one party has all the control and does a bunch of shit that we don't like. And then like now we got it for 4 years. We're going to go in there and do a bunch of shit they don't like. Like this back and forth and hating each other, it drives me nuts. So how do we work together? We're all Americans. I don't look at them as anything else than just another part of America that has a different point of view. And that may anger some people and they don't want to hear what I have to say. That's fine. But we can't just keep going on with hate all the time. It's just not ever going to be the America that it should be if that's what we're going to do.
And it gets us nowhere. And we have a duty to our children and grandchildren, which I will always stand by, to leave this country in better shape than when we experienced it for them. There are so many opportunities that we had growing up, or we watched our parents or grandparents have growing up, that have gone to the wayside. When you see young adults or 20-somethings trying to apply for jobs, and they apply 40, 50, 80, 100 jobs, and they barely get callbacks, even though they're hiring, that's a problem right there. There is no stability in the job market. There is no direct path to do A, you'll get to B, to reach C, to have a family at D, and you'll be okay. We need to get that back. And I love that seems to be what's happening with this administration by bringing money back into this country versus giving it out to everybody and everyone that we've seen Doge expose, and we've seen with Ukraine and all that stuff. What about our people? Robert F. Kennedy Jr. just came out and said, and I reported it this morning, that if we kept some of that money, that $113 billion we gave to Ukraine in the first place, back in the Biden administration, that's enough money to secure every single homeless person a place to stay, a place to be secure and live, and start building a foundation so they can restructure their lives and be fruitful and beneficial as citizens. And that is so disgusting to me that we haven't done that yet. You have to step back and say, if these people really cared about American citizens, whoever they are in leadership, we could have solved this by now. Ask yourselves, think, why do they want wars? Why do they fund wars, yet ignore our very own citizens? And that will help you be an educated person to know how to apply your vote and who to apply it for.
I agree with you, Tammy. I think this country is wealthy enough that we could take care of our own first. And it's not that I'm against helping other countries, but I don't think that we should become slaves to other countries where I'm having to work 60 hours a week just to pay the bills because 32% of my check goes to the federal government, and then a bunch of dimwits take that money and send it overseas to more than just Ukraine. It goes many, many, many places. And so I know a lot of people dislike Doge, especially the left. They think they're out of control and they're stealing from the people, which I find absolutely hilarious. But I would think that both the left and the right would want some kind of accountability for their government and their government spending. And if they're foolishly sending our money all over the world and we're having to work like slaves just to put bread on the table, I think it's damn time for change. And yes. I don't feel like the left is ever going to make that change. Sorry. But that has not been proven to me yet. And even the right hasn't wanted to make that kind of change. They talk about it all the time. They've talked about it for decades now, Tammy. Yes. I mean, the Bushes have, well, I guess that's all besides Trump that's been in office on the right is the Bushes. But, Republicans run for office all the time. Oh, I believe in smaller government and less spending, blah, blah, blah. But there's always been promises made and nothing's ever been kept. And now, whether you hate him or you love him, Donald Trump has come into office and he is promises made, promises kept. And there is at least an attempt to see some type of accountability for our elected officials and for our government and our government spending. And hate it or love it, at least we're trying to make an effort to move in the right direction. I still think that even though we're headed in that direction, it still has to be some bipartisan there. There has to be middle ground for both sides to come together and say, yeah, we see the waste. We need to make changes. And I have, the workplace, union workers, a lot of them are Democrat. And it used to be, you have to be very cautious about telling people what side of the fence you stand on, especially if you don't stand on that side of the fence if you want to keep your job. But what I've found in the last few years is probably a lot more than 50% of union contractors and workers are actually, they stand on the right side of the fence. And so there's great conversations going on at my work that I've never had ever in my life. It's always been either extremely left or extremely right, and not there's no back and forth on ideas. And we've been having some great ones at work lately, and that really inspires me to do podcasting and to do these shows and to bring those people in and allow them a platform and an opportunity to hear different opinions and hear different views of things. And it's just been really informative. Do I agree with everything they say? No, I don't. But do they agree with everything I say? No, but the conversation is going very well. Here's one other thing that you can count on here at LWN. It's coming very soon. As soon as we get the supercomputer completely dialed in 100%, all the audio, all the video and everything, we are bringing back the call-in show again. So that's going to give you, the viewer, a platform, a voice, an opportunity. You know, the original LWN was the ones that brought that to you guys, gave America a voice. We're bringing that back in our show. It's going to be bigger and better than ever. It's going to be very simple. There's going to be no more trying to click on a link to come into a Zoom call or a StreamYard call. It's going to be a 1-800 number. You're going to be able to grab your phone, call in, go into a waiting room, and be able to come in and give us your opinion. Give us your thoughts. If you want to rant, come in and rant. You know, it's just a place for you to have a voice. We're going to give that back to you guys because I think it's so important. That's what really got me started doing this podcasting, Tammy, was I was angry. I was shouting at the TV. And you know what? Those people can't hear me. So I started the podcast, and I really wanted to give America and even the world, because I've had people call in from all over the world to LWN, and I just wanted to give people an opportunity to have a voice and to be heard. And so we're bringing that back. It should be back in the next couple of weeks. We're going to be working hard. We're putting in a lot of hours. Tammy's working her tail off. Our producers, we got multiple producers now. They're working their tails off. Some of them work late into the night and sleep during the day, and some of them work all day and all night. So we've got some great people behind us. We got great mods. We got a great audience, great followers. If you guys want to see LWN succeed and grow, it's really up to you guys. You got to hit those like buttons, you got to subscribe to the channels, and more importantly, you got to share them out and share them with other people and say, hey, here's an opportunity. You don't like what's going on with Doge? Well, come over here to LWN Network and call in and tell us what you don't like about Doge.
Yeah.
You know, if you do like what you see is going on, you know, then call in and tell us what you like. Tell us how you're feeling. Tell us how these policies affect you. That's very important too. Does closing the border affect you in a good way or a bad way? I know I've talked to Sage, and I know that some of these policies affect him in a negative way, you know, and one of the policies right now could very well affect me in a negative way. And I want to give you guys an opportunity to be able to call into the show and tell us, hey, the prices of eggs are going down. That's affected my family in a positive way. Inflation's going down. The price of gas is going down at the pump. This is great. Or maybe it's not. Maybe it's going in the wrong direction. Maybe gas is going up and eggs are still climbing. You know, I'm just giving you guys a scenario of opportunity to be able to call into LWN Network and voice how you're feeling, voice what's going on, and just have, you know, that place. Yeah, that's going down. Have that place where you can come and do that. Tammy, I'm going to give you a chance to talk. So they're working on my mic.
Yeah, because it's a little hot.
Yeah,
a little high.
I'm hearing it. So I'm going to let you talk, and then I'll jump back in. But we're going to have to get out of here shortly.
Okay.
Because that 10 minutes I told you we're already at 33.
I don't, well, it's important what we have to say. I just say, but to start off, you guys join me tomorrow, noon Eastern Standard Time, for my headline hits, because I'm going to talk about Doge and behind the scenes, because Elon did a behind the scenes, and I'm going to break down for you guys exactly what Doge is doing, what they're exposing, and how they're doing it. This way you have information and you're educated, instead of saying, I like Elon or I don't like Elon. Pay attention to what he is doing and why. He's not getting paid for it. So please join me for that. It's an interesting story I think you're going to enjoy. Also, when it comes to all the different things that people have to say, I am so excited about the call-ins, because it is true. Everybody needs a voice. You think that I'm an individual person sometimes, my voice doesn't matter. It absolutely does. During the time off that LW and I have been behind the scenes, being active in my community, going to events, learning all about the election process, and knocking on doors and seeing what people have to say and how they feel about the temperament of the last election. Now, I will tell you, there are people that want to stay behind the scenes, that don't want to be in front of a camera or put flags or signs in their yard, that's okay. But you can still do something. You can still call your representatives. You can still send emails, et cetera, et cetera. So what I'm saying is you can make a difference no matter what aspect of that difference you want to make, no matter what you're comfortable doing. There is something and there's room for everybody. We are the voice. We are the people. We are the ones that should be in control, and we are the ones that have the power. So, you just have to step up and step out outside of your comfort zone. If I can do it, anybody can do it, because I had no clue. I just became passionate about this movement back 4 or 5 years ago when I met LW on his show. That's how I got started. I'm like, yes, this is what it is about. He gave us and me the confidence to call into his show, to express myself in a comfortable environment, to not be, bad talked about, and be accepted and respected. And that's what we want to continue here at LWN Network with your call-ins and your voice. All you have to do is not name call and not just shout and scream. Just give your opinions, et cetera, and we accept them, and we're going to have great conversations. So that's what I love about this, and times are going to be tough. Just because the administration is in now that it's only 8 weeks in, a lot has been accomplished and achieved. Like it or not, there is movement. There is movement. And the last administration, all the movement was outside of this country for other people. Other people were allowed in while we were told to mask up and to stay in our homes. And they let them through the borders, not even caring who they were, what disease they brought with them. And it goes on and on. You guys know the story. So now we're on the other side of all that. Now we need to break it apart, break it down, and share what we've learned, the hurts that we've achieved. There's a lot of hurts that we've developed over these years as well. Loss of family, loss of relationships, loss of friends for our beliefs and our standards. Now is not the time to say, I told you so. Now is the time to say, oh my God, I was right. I don't want to be right, but let's mend fences. And it goes on and on. So that's what we hope to bring here today is like LW said, is just your voice to be able to express how you feel and release the tension and find tools that you can use to educate yourselves, educate others, and mend those relationships that were so poorly and horribly torn apart over the last 4 or 5 years.
Well, I'm gonna say one more thing to give producers and chat the ability to give feedback. And the producer was working on my voice there for a minute, so I'm going to give him a chance to keep working on it. To comment to what Danny's saying there in chat about the state's militia. Some of the good stuff that I've been hearing is, as far as the Second Amendment goes, they're talking about making all 50 states a constitutional carry, where you're not having to be permitted, which that's our right. And that's what the Constitution was written for. And I'd like to see us get back to that. I'd also like to see, they're talking about fully automatic weapons. They're done messing around with this, dancing around the whole Second Amendment. And who knows? I hope they get to that point. I really do hope that they restore all of our rights. And some people will say, well, why would you need a fully automatic weapon? I don't. I don't. But I can tell you this: if I have a tyrannical government, there might be a need for it. So, that's some things that I hear are working. They're working on. So that'd be great. Mike and Tammy, you two are killing it. Keep up the good work. That's my buddy Jasper. That's my buddy Jasper. I appreciate it. And
thank you.
I'm getting ready to go. I got invited to our hometown, Jasper and I's hometown, to go to a Republican dinner up there. They reached out to me today and asked me if I'd come and if there's some things I'd bring. So I'm going to try to make it to that. I think it's important to get involved, and to know what's going on in our own government and our local governments, especially. They just passed a bill here in Idaho to make it law, which I disagree. They passed a bill yesterday, I think, here in the Capitol in Idaho, to make it a law that all children in the state of Idaho have to learn cursive, have to write cursive and learn cursive. Why do I disagree with it? I don't think it should have to be a law. I think it should be something that's up to the parents. I think that if parents want their children to be able to read and write cursive, that they should have an opportunity to go to the school board and petition that that's something that they want part of the curriculum. That's how I think it should be handled. I don't think that we should have a state get involved and say that this has got to be a law. And that's just the way I feel about it. Now, other people might feel, nope, it needs to be a law. They have to learn it. And I agree, they should learn it, but it shouldn't be forced as a law. And that's where we start losing control.
Mhm.
We start losing control of our own lives when we allow our government to have all these restrictions and rules that are just nonstop all the time. I was listening to Swami 2 days ago, and he was saying some really good stuff about how, okay, Elon wanted to take the digital way of going into Doge, and he wanted to go into Doge the constitutional way. And he was explaining on the podcast I was listening to that a lot of this stuff that is restricting us are rules. They're not laws, but they're rules. But they're rules because we've allowed our government to go in there and make a stupid rule that says that every child in the state of Idaho has to learn to read and write cursive. And I've always been taught the reason why our government doesn't want our children to be able to read cursive is because the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence is written in cursive. So that used to be an argument on my side. But then a buddy of mine, as we're having these great conversations at work, said, well, Mike, they can get it in digital form that's not cursive. And I went, wow, there you go. So do they really need to learn to read and write cursive? Because that was the argument for the last 4 years. My argument was, oh, they gotta learn how to read cursive, because if they don't, they won't know the Constitution and they won't know the Declaration of Independence. But if it's in digital form, do they really need that? Again, I still think they should learn how to do it. We all learned how to do it. I think it's important. I think cursive writing is beautiful, at least some people's handwriting, not mine. I write more like a doctor. But again, it's allowing our government, to have those, to enforce those type of restrictions over us. We shouldn't be restricted. We shouldn't have that rule. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, and I agree, but we've gotten so far away from school and education in the topics and subjects that we grew up on. I believe children should learn how to balance a checkbook, or even if it's a digital checkbook, pay bills, learn how to mend things around their own homes or vehicles.
Learn how to manage money.
Manage money. Exactly. Not all this critical race theory that they did. I mean, this math that is so far out there that it really doesn't apply. And if it does apply in the future, then I think if whatever job you have that it applies to, then you take a special college course for it. So we've gotten so far away. I remember it started when my kids were in school. They wanted them not to have shoes that had laces because they didn't want to spend the time to tie their lace. Velcro. Up, here we go. Out and in. So the thing is, the Velcro shoes were a big thing. So my kids, I had to teach them myself how to tie their own shoes because they were used to Velcro. It's simple things like that. How to function as a normal person and get things done without relying on other people. I don't like that dependence on everybody else knowing it and you don't know and you just pay for somebody else to do it for you. I want to get back to you are self-sufficient.
I couldn't agree with you more, Tammy. My buddy Jim asked me today, how did we get to where we're at? And I said, well, first they took the father out of the home and made a bunch of single women raise children. Now, I'm not saying that's every situation, but that was a good start. They took God out of everything. Now, some people believe freedom of religion, and that doesn't mean that you have to force religion on me. I totally agree too. But when they started taking God out of everything, it really, in my opinion, did away with morals and values, because he's like, the question really was how do we get to a place in America where we have no morals and no values? I said, take the father out of the home. Now you have single moms raising children, and the single moms have to work to pay the bills, so they're not in the home either. And now you have the state raising our children, and that's where a lot of this indoctrination comes, and a lot of things, like you said, Tammy, in the public school that's not being taught. So it all can all be fixed. We can change the direction that this is all going if we all get involved and start putting people in the places of our government that can make those changes and head it in the direction we want it to go. I would like to see single parent families be able to work a decent job and be able to pay all the bills and not have to work 2 or 3 jobs to raise their children. Amen. You know, and I think that has a lot to do with the IRS and with taxes and taxation and all that stuff. And man, that's a whole nother show, more comments, right? And we could go on for 20 hours on this test.
Yes.
And talk about all that. But that's the stuff that we want to talk about here on LWN Network. And those are the questions that we want to ask our audience. And those are the call-ins that we want. We want people to be able to call in and tell us, how does that affect you being a single mom?
Yes.
And how does the Trump policies affect you in a good way or a bad way? How did the policies of the previous administration affect you? And I think those stories are important. I think those stories are key to making change, because if we can all learn to communicate again, then I think we can all learn how to maybe solve problems instead of just always pointing fingers, blaming the other side, and it's just a power struggle back and forth every 4 years, every 8 years.
Yeah.
Tired of that shit.
Yeah, I agree. That whole thing about one administration just gets rolling on something and then another one comes in. The red tape that we've always been told, well, you know what, there's so much red tape, it's hard to get it done. Yet, you know, they only had 4 years. So it almost felt like a hopeless situation with an administration. But, you know, one thing Trump did do in his first run, in his first office that he held as president of the United States of America, was he showed red tape don't matter. If you want to get business done, you can get it done. We were buying the lie that red tape, or what you said, one administration to the next, just really, they started getting rolling, and then it went to the wayside, and then we went the other way, blah, blah, blah. Trump showed us, you want to get something done, you can get it done. You just have to be dedicated to the work, and that's all there is to it. He's shown that, LW, in the first 8 weeks of him being the president of the United States. Look at all he's accomplished. Love him, hate him. The point is, the man and his administration has done a lot in 8 weeks compared to what the last administration has done to us to destroy us in the last 4 years.
Absolutely. Well, Tammy, is that your final thought?
I guess so. It has to be.
As
it's getting late.
We're rolling up on 50 minutes here.
I'm ready to grab some coffee and some snacks, and keep going.
Well, so don't forget, Tammy will be back here tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Headline Hits. For all of you in there tonight watching us, please come back out tomorrow and support her. She does such a fabulous job on those headlines. Come out, support her, hit the like button, subscribe, and share her out so that more people can see her do her little bit. I think it's awesome. And then again, as long as everything goes well, I should be back tomorrow evening, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Jeff B. I had a conversation with him this afternoon on the way home from work. Some very interesting stuff he had to talk about, and Tammy might catch some of it in Headline Hits. Yes. I don't know, but if not, we'll pick it up in the evening show and we'll talk about it. So let everybody know, whether you love us, you hate us, you love Jeff B, you hate Jeff B. Let everybody know that they can come over here and check us out tomorrow evening at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Headline Hits at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the morning or afternoon, like Tammy says, whatever time is for you. And again, this wasn't supposed to be all this talk. It was supposed to be a 10-minute test to see how the sound. Well, this is what Shane and I used to do. We used to do a test, and we'd get 14,000 views just doing a test. We're like, how do we get 14,000 views just doing a test, right? So
Right.
anyway, thank you to the audience tonight, all the listeners, for your feedback on the sound and the videos. It's really helping our producers dial everything in, and once we get it dialed in, we can lock it in, and then we're not doing this often. So new computer, new things coming up, new attitude. This time it is personal.
Yes.
And we're going to be kicking ass, taking names. We're going to be streaming 24 hours a day. We're bringing back the call-in show. I got an Alpha Male show coming. I've also got a couple of our favorites that have been with LWN for a very long time thinking about doing their own shows as well. And then, of course, Tammy's doing Headline Hits, and Tammy will also have a ladies' night show. I don't know what she's going to call it, but it's in the works.
Yeah.
Who knows? She might be reaching out to you to see if you might want to be a co-host one evening. So we're going to get back to our roots, and we're going to have a Saturday night jukebox, which I'm excited for because whether you're a country fan or an 80s rocker or old 70s rock or whatever, we're going to have a jukebox night on Saturday nights where you guys can drop requests in the chat and have music, your favorite music video played, and dance in the kitchen, drink a glass of wine, have fun.
You know what I want to say that's going to remind me of LW is MTV. For us folks that grew up at MTV. To watch videos, have a good time.
We're going to have MTV right here on LWN Network.
There
I
you go.
Love it.
Yes, me too.
All right. Well, let's play the intro on the way out. And if you guys could just stay through the intro and just chat and let us know 5x5 if it's too hot, too loud, distorted, just perfect. We just need a little more feedback on the way out, and we'll see you guys tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Headline Hits, and tomorrow evening, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with me and Jeff B. Love you all. Have a great evening. Catch you on the next one.
You can see it in the sky. No use running, if you do, you won't survive. People are sick and people are tired, but inside of me rages a fire. We the people are going to burn this corruption to the ground. Yeah, we the people will fight fire with fire starting now. Going to burn this corruption to the ground. Yeah, we the people will fight fire with fire starting now. Gonna watch them run, gonna watch it burn, gonna watch it all come down. Yeah, we the people are gonna burn this corruption to the ground. With fire starting now.